Merry Christmas! Merry Christ Mass! Begin with a story. There's a story told of a little 3-year-old boy who his parents are having another little girl. And they go to the hospital and they're going to bring the little baby girl home. And the 3-year-old boy is so excited to meet his new sister and to talk with her and be with her and love her. And the parents bring the baby girl home, and the little boy asks, "Can I have a moment with her? Can I have just a couple of minutes with her?" And the parents were wondering what that's about, and then they say sure. And they knew that they had the video monitoring system, so they let the little boy go in, and they watch as the little boy goes over to the crib and peers over the crib and makes a statement and asks his little sister, fresh from God, this question. He says, peering over the crib, tell me about God. Help me to remember, because I'm beginning to forget." And I think that's maybe the question we all ask at Christmas time. We're all there peering over the crib, saying to that baby Jesus, tell me about God. Help me to remember. I'm beginning to forget. What is Christmas? What is Christ Mass all about? It's a mystery. No one can explain it fully. But Christ, Richard Rohr is a theologian that says some of us think that Christ is Jesus' last name, but it's so much bigger than that. And it's about the Incarnation. That the Incarnation, he says, has been happening for 15 billion years. That the spiritual, the eternal love bursting into the universe, material form, and that we only started paying attention to the Incarnation about 2,000 years ago when Jesus was born. But what is the Incarnation all about? What does this mean? It's a mystery, but it's a beautiful, bigger story than we could ever imagine. In John chapter 1, it says, "In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God, and nothing was made except through the Word." Who is the Word? Jesus, the Christ. "And the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. And we have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only, full of grace and truth." We can trust God. Jesus didn't come to save us from God, but to show us God. And we can trust this God that Jesus is. And in John, the letter, the epistle to John, chapter 1, John writes, "We have seen him. We have touched him. We have heard him." This Jesus, the eternal Christ. We've seen him, we've touched him, we've heard him with our own ears, seen him with our own eyes. And he's telling us this mystery, this beautiful, bigger story. And in Galatians it says at just the right time, Christ was born. And in Ephesians, that we were loved before the world was even created. And Christ came to show us that. And in Colossians, that Jesus is the invisible, that Jesus is the visible expression of the invisible God. The story is bigger than we can imagine, this story of love and how we're being pursued in love. And I've heard it said this way again by Richard Rohr. He says, in Jesus, God took on human form, human endearment, a human face, human eyes, human skin, human voice, so that God became someone we could fall in love with. Yes. So a couple of applications for incarnation. The earth is good. Being human is good. The glory of God is a human being fully alive, Irenaeus says, with all the feelings, all the experiences. We don't have to shy away from it. We can enter it fully. It's good. And the Incarnation says that God is with us, Emmanuel. God is present. A prayer that we don't have to pray ever again is, God, please be with me, or God, please be with them. We often pray that in anxiety, but we never have to pray it again. We just have to be aware we live in God. And bidden or unbidden, as Young says, God is present. Also says something about love, that the purpose of life is to love, and this everlasting love that we're shown in Jesus. Everlasting, never-ending love that comes to us. You are loved before the world began. you and I. Wow. And then the ultimate reality is shown to us in Jesus. Jesus isn't God's plan B just to come and save the world after it's all messed up. Jesus is the first idea in the mind of God, showing us how to live here and now, and to live fully. And the ultimate reality that we live in, which is love, and the ultimate reality we can live in if we choose to do so. So Merry Christmas. It's bigger and more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Britt, come here. Hey, she's up in the woods here today. This incarnation of fur. So Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. May you live all the days of your life. Until next time, we'll see ya.